Today's exercise, Danny and Manny, is very simple. We are going to each of us go to our Vikings crystal ball, all right?
Yes.
And offer up 4 or 5 predictions. And the only ground rules are
We should have brought in a real crystal ball.
they can be. Do you have one? I don't have one.
No, but we have a department for that, right?
Can we go buy one?
Can I expense it?
Declan, go buy one.
Go buy us a crystal ball.
Crystal ball right now, please. He's not even listening to us.
No.
He's absolutely not.
What a fraud.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So the only rules to this are your Vikings crystal ball predictions have to be for the remainder of this season, but they can also go into the spring and summer. So free agency,
these crystal ball predictions can go until the start of training camp.
Basically, yes.
Okay.
Basically, yes. So if you would like to go first with what you foresee the Vikings, and this can include, if you want, go crazy, Super Bowl championship in 2019. If you would like to start your Vikings crystal ball, Danny Cunningham tells you what.
Number 1, Kirk Cousins will finish top 5 in the MVP voting this year.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, so it's going to be obviously Lamar Jackson in there, Russell Wilson in there.
After that, I don't know.
Is McCaffrey still in that or not?
No, I don't think so. Deshaun Watson's probably in there somewhere.
Fair enough, yeah.
But I think that Kirk Cousins can slide into a number 4 or number 5 spot there.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility to see Kirk Cousins getting MVP votes. He's earned them.
Okay, then if that happens, do we have immediate after the season talk of a contract extension?
Funny you bring that up because that's another crystal ball prediction.
Nice.
I'm not predicting that an extension will get done.
Okay.
But there will be rumors at the very least that the Vikings and Kirk Cousins are feeling each other out for a new contract.
All right, let's go down that path. If that happens, do you think that ultimately he does get a contract extension? And point A to that is, if he gets a contract extension here, not does he give him a discount, but does he give him something that can help them cap-wise to build around him?
I think he gives them something that can help them cap-wise. I don't know about a discount, as you said, but I do think that it's a little more team-friendly this time around. I would be very curious to see the number of years. My crystal ball hasn't told me that, but my crystal ball has told me that they're going to talk. And I don't even know that something's going to get done. But there's going to be thoughts of it on both sides.
I think if it can be done in a way that can help them cap-wise, though, they probably do it, right? Because then you can build around him as well. But the main problem right now is the things that you can't do because of the current contract.
Yes.
Okay, so that's your third one.
That was my second.
Your second one. Okay.
I've given 2 crystal ball predictions so far.
Okay. Number 3.
The Minnesota Vikings are not winning a playoff game this year. I'm predicting that they're going to make the playoffs.
Okay, when you rub the crystal ball, do you see a loss in Green Bay?
Yes.
Okay. I could see them winning that game, actually.
I could see them winning that game, but my crystal ball doesn't see it as such, Judd. When I looked into it last night, I should have brought it in. When I looked into my crystal ball last night.
Wait. So you could have brought it in?
Theater of the mind, Judd.
You could have brought it in. You should have brought it in. You're right. Very disappointed.
When I looked into it last night.
Manny's disappointed.
When I rubbed it and wanted to see what...
You don't need to go on. You could just stop and look into it.
They lost. It was outdoors. It was in Lambeau. They lost. I could see them winning, but my crystal ball didn't see that.
Was it close or was it?
It was a 10-point game.
Yeah, it's not that close. It's relatively not that close though.
No.
All right. So you see them. I take it your scenario is they win their next 4.
Yes.
So they get up to the 12 win mark.
Yes, they win 12 games, and that's a big reason as to why Kirk is getting the MVP talk that he's getting, the chatter
and the feeling out of the contract.
Yes, and the contract because we won 12 games with this guy.
All right.
Just got unlucky that the NFC was so good this year.
Okay.
But they don't win. They are one and done. They are the 6th seed at 12 wins, which is preposterous. But they are the number 6 seed in the NFC with 12 wins. And they don't move on.
Okay. I have a feeling I know what's going to be 4th on your crystal ball, or at least 5th with what you just said, but keep going.
I did not put that there. I know what you're thinking.
You didn't
I did
do
not.
it.
I did.
So after all week long,
I think they should.
I'm giving you this platform.
I think that they should make that move should this happen.
The move
I'm talking about is removing of the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think the organization has the guts to do it.
Wow. Okay. Number 4.
Xavier Rhodes remains a starter for the rest of the year. Mike Zimmer does not have the wherewithal to remove him from the starting lineup.
Hold on, wait. So you don't think that they're going to have the necessary gall to remove him as coach, but he's going to leave a liability in there
Yes.
for the rest of the season?
Yes.
Oh boy. I can't get my head around this one. And I'm being honest here. I can't get my head around this because we're talking now. Hearing Rhodes talk yesterday, and I get it. It's the player talking, so I'm not surprised. But is anybody really buying in that building that there's something to be salvaged here? We're talking like he is.
Xavier's is Zim's guy, Judd.
No.
That's what it comes down
I'm going
to.
Beyond that,
he's not going to embarrass his guy and remove him.
You're probably right. What I'm trying
crystal ball.
Crystal ball is right. What I'm telling you is we're now talking about as if this is a salvageable. Well, we're discussing Rhodes as if he is a slumping right fielder, and if we just continue to give him at bats, he's going to be fine.
We're talking about Rhodes here. Like he is CJ Crone in the second half of last season.
And there's nothing. It's so crystal clear from the crystal ball to me that there's nothing left to give here.
Yeah.
He's given a lot. He was really good at one time. But when you can't run, what are you supposed to do? You can't just say, hey, next week, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to run harder. You can't do that.
Nope.
I don't understand the conversation right now. The conversation to me is it's too bad. And in some ways, it's a brutal conversation. But what's left to give here? What's he going to do? What's he going to do the next time they face a good team and good QB? Because David Blau, who didn't look bad against the Bears, but
David Blau fan.
But what's he going to do the next time they face a good team and he's playing like he's playing?
I don't think he's going to get picked on too much the rest of the regular season, but Aaron Rodgers is going to just target him without any regard for human life.
Correct.
On the wild card weekend. He might not do it here. They actually might try and keep that in their back pocket. They might not try and show that because Green Bay's smart enough to know, hey, we're probably going to see this team again.
But if he's not going to get benched,
weeks,
do you need him to keep that in his back pocket?
But you don't want him to be benched. If you're Green Bay.
But you're saying that you don't think he would be.
I don't. But I also think Green Bay would be foolish to try and force that hand.
I'd sure like, if I thought that was the key to beating the Vikings here and that gave me a clear path to it, I'd sure like to get that win.
I just don't think that matters at this point because I think the picture is so set.
Okay. That's number 4.
Number 5, the Vikings are going to be drafting a cornerback in the first round of the NFL draft.
Stole one of mine.
I don't know who it's going to be. There are a couple of really good corners at Ohio State that I know are going to likely be coming out.
Yep.
LSU has some really talented defensive backs, but the Vikings are going to be drafting a corner with the 24th selection. I don't know what it would be.
Okay, go through your 5 crystal ball Vikings predictions again, Danny Cunningham.
Kirk Cousins will finish top 5 in NFL MVP voting this year. The Vikings will be rumored to be in talks of a contract extension with Kirk Cousins at some point this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota is not winning a playoff game. Mike Zimmer does not have the guts to remove Xavier Rhodes from the starting lineup. And the Minnesota Vikings.
How you purposely word that way.
And the Minnesota Vikings will draft a corner in the first round of the draft.
Okay. 651-646-8255. If you would like to weigh in on what Danny Cunningham just said with his 5 Vikings crystal ball predictions, or if you have your own, 651-646-8255. We are in the TCL broadcast studios. It is Viking Vent Line, Score North of 1500. Manny Hill, if you have time, would you like to run through your Vikings crystal ball predictions?
Yes, I will go with number 1 here. The Minnesota Vikings will lose to the Los Angeles Chargers.
Stole another one of mine. I'm just really giving mine away right now.
Basically,
I see bad
locking up the NFC North for the Green Bay Packers.
I don't think you even made predictions. I think you're just saying, oh, you stole mine.
Nope, I've got them right here. I will turn my computer around, Cunningham, and I will show you. Vikings will lose to the Chargers.
Oh, yeah.
But I do.
You had a Kirk extension, too.
That does feel like a weird game. I don't know about that game.
All I know about, I do know about that game.
I
do know about that game. I don't know if they're going to win or lose that game. But what I do know about that game is the Chargers are going to be down 1 possession with 2 minutes left, and Phillip Rivers is going to have the ball with no timeouts at his own 20.
And you know what's going to happen?
No, I don't know what's going to happen, but I know that.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't, because Phillip Rivers, his entire career has been that scenario. And that's what it's going to be again when they play out in LA. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it because he hasn't done it well this year, but he's going to try, and he's probably going to throw an interception.
Manny, you know as well as I do, that sidearm slop's going to go right at 29.
It should.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
I think you're onto something here, Manny.
But that leads me to my next crystal ball prediction.
All right, hold on.
After the Vikings lose to the Los Angeles San Diego Chargers, that will be the point where, not saying that Xavier Rhodes will be benched, but that will mean, after that game, will mean that Holton Hill and Mike Hughes will start to get significantly more playing time.
Okay, so
corner.
So Detroit Chargers then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Rhodes will still play, and he'll probably even still start.
Okay.
But his snap count, like, we're not going to be seeing him get 60 snaps like he got the other night. Hill and Hughes will start to get significantly more snaps.
Mm-hmm. So he's fine against Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
He plays against the Chargers.
Doesn't play well.
And that slot
costs
goes
him the game
right at him. And so Phil leads him down the field. And the next game, the Green Bay game, then the snaps drop. Okay.
Yeah, because by then, with the Packers coming in, like, that's when Zimmer's going to be like, okay, we got to do something here. That will be the moment.
All right.
Going in a similar route with Danny with a draft prediction, but I'm not going to predict a cornerback. I'm going to predict that the Vikings will draft a defensive tackle with their first round pick. There's some issues there that
you're right.
Seattle Seahawks, I think, expose a little bit, being able to run the ball a little bit. And we've seen this defense. One of the struggles, aside from Xavier Rhodes with his defense, has been they don't get very good interior pressure from the interior guys.
And is Linval back too? I don't think that's a slam dunk given.
No, I don't think. I think with his age and the contract, and I don't know how much dead cap that would be, but I think he's a prime candidate to not return as well. And then I only made 4 predictions.
That's fine.
Number 4, Kevin Stefanski will get a head coaching job in the NFL, and Gary Kubiak will be the Vikings offensive coordinator next year.
Oh. So.
And he'll also keep the title as, assistant head coach. And
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
All right. So I've heard, and it makes sense that Stefanski would at least be on some lists, right? As we discussed before.
Should be. I mean, he was last year.
He's going to be on the Falcons list, I think. I think he's going to be on Carolina's list. But then I've heard people talking about, well, if he leaves, what happens? What Manny said is what's going, unless Kubiak says, I don't want that. That's the easiest, most common sense, simple path of all, right?
Could you see Kubiak saying that? Because I could.
Well, if he bails, then I think what Manny brought up on the Wednesday show happens, because Shermer's getting fired.
Yeah. Then Pat Shermer.
And he just comes back here, which, by the way, also to me, completely fine.
Yeah. And Zimmer would embrace that too, because Pat Shermer was a guy that Zimmer trusted.
Yes.
With the offense.
But I don't think I think if Stefanski bails, it should not be. Now, I don't trust the Vikings not to make the OC job a circus, because unfortunately with Mike, they have a couple of times. But if Stefanski leaves, it shouldn't be that tough.
Yeah.
And if Shermer comes back, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's a smart guy. He's not going to come back and change things drastically.
Yeah, he'll come back and he'll probably run a very, maybe not word for word verbatim the same system, but Pat's a smart guy.
DeFilippo basically,
and he comes, Shermer comes from sort of a West Coast background as well.
And Flip came here and essentially tried to install, because the Vikings were enamored with it, the Philadelphia offense.
Yeah.
That was a big change. That was a big deal. But this is
a big
not
change from what Kirk had done previously too.
And the one thing that we know now, and probably the biggest mistake that the Vikings made going into 2018, was not to put Kirk. You sign Kirk, you say, Kirk, what do you need?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't say, hey, Kirk, just go play this offense.
Yeah.
And
they've learned that now.
Yeah. And if it beats you in Philadelphia in a playoff game, I don't care. That doesn't mean that you should copy it just because it beat your defense. All right. My crystal ball predictions for the Vikings. I have 5. Some Danny had, some Manny had.
Mm-hmm.
But my number 1 crystal ball prediction, and this is not going out on a limb, I get that, but I think it's done for him. Adam Thielen will not play again for the Vikings this season.
Oh.
He keeps having setbacks. It's a hamstring. He came back from the bye, so total week off. Total complete rest. Practiced on Tuesday and tweaked it. Again, this had to be very severe. This had to be very, every time he tries to either run, basically every time he tries to run competitively, he tweaks it, right? And some point in time, so he tweaked it in KC. Now he's out for what, 2 weeks after that, 3 weeks after that? Is that right? All right. Bye week comes. You do nothing. You come back and practice. You tweak it again. Hurt it again. At some point, you're just done. At some point, you've got to say.
Do you think they put him on IR at some point?
For his own good, I might be tempted. I don't want to have him blow it out completely. Do you? We've talked about that before.
No, I mean,
you can't say you
have
don't
to
care.
protect him from himself.
Yeah. This is a situation where when you hurt this now, what, a month and a half ago? 2 months ago?
Yeah, a month and a half, I think.
In Detroit? And
when did they play Detroit?
And every time you try to come back, you hurt that hamstring again. The team's got to be smart here. Because if you
was
blow
that game 7 they played Detroit? Or game 6?
They were at Detroit. That was October 20th.
Okay.
Month and a half, yeah.
Okay.
Almost basically exactly a month and a half.
Crystal ball says he's done. Maybe the playoff game, but I don't know that you keep chancing this. If this goes really, really bad, then now you're talking about what? Some type of surgery, maybe going into next year. I don't want that.
Guys really don't have surgery on their hamstrings.
Well, you would hope not. It just has gotten to me to a point where it's a big concern.